Welcome to the Girls Empowerment Network podcast. We are changing the world.
All right, ladies, we are so excited to have you, Miss Chandra, this evening with us for our Gen podcast. This part of our show we call our roundtable. So this is where we pull together some of the girls and give the guests an opportunity to kind of connect with them and share some more tips and information. Tonight we have girls ranging from 8 to 14. So these are young girls, a little younger than the girls who were interviewing you. So I'm excited to have an opportunity to ask questions and hear some things directly from you, mainly pertaining to the younger girls, because we just saw recently, was it someone waiting for the school bus that was someone tried attempted kidnapping, and some of our girls do use the school bus to go to school and stuff like that. So really, I wanted the opportunity to speak to some of the issues that they may have or experienced, and if you know of someone who's had a particular situation and you want to share in order to get some advice, we want to do that as well.
Sure, let's get started. Who wants to ask me the first question?
I got a prize for that person. I promise I do.
So if someone was to be kidnapped and that person were to leave traces, but the traces didn't lead directly to them, they somehow set a trap to lead it to another person, would you make that person a suspect even though you know that it wasn't them?
Well, we don't make people suspects when we know it wasn't them. So after we check out and investigate the different trails that they leave, we will be able to tell who exactly it comes to regardless. But if I had someone who was your age, what I would tell you is that if someone is trying to take you, for you to fight, first of all, just like the young lady did before. I have some video footage where I train young girls how people will actually try to pick you up and grab you. And the little girl who was attempted kidnapping, she did exactly what I train young girls to do. You are to fidget, keep kicking, kick in between their legs where it will trip them up, they will fall, and you roll over and you run. And she did exactly what I teach girls every day at camp. So, I tell anyone, if someone ever get you and they take you and you are in the car, now that's a different notion. And I'll tell you what to do if that happens.
Well, tell us.
Wait till someone asks.
Okay, I have a question. How many crimes do you think you have solved?
Gara. Oh my gosh. If I had to guess, I would say possibly 2,000.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, I've been in this for about 35 years.
That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about cases mostly with children or other cases as well?
Other cases as well.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of calls from people who are higher up, adults, that I don't discuss what actually the crime is, but I always make sure that I help them with their problems too.
That sounds very interesting. So she's a private investigator.
Okay, so if someone's staring at you suspiciously, do you go up to them and tell them to stop, or do you just run away?
Girl, let me tell you what you do, that little thing that most of you have, which is called a smartphone. You take that smartphone and you take it out and you act like you're pointing in the direction of where that person is, and you act like you're taking a selfie, but you're actually taking a picture reverse of them. always tell people to get a picture of the person that you think that is following you or staring at you or that you've seen on multiple occasions, because a picture really tells exactly who it is, whether you trying to describe who was following you. It's always easier to snapshot and take a picture.
So, if you were to be snatched and taken into a car or kidnapped by someone who snatches you and takes you into a car, how would you get out of that situation?
I'm so glad you asked. It is so important that if someone takes you somewhere, girls, that you leave a trail. If you can go to the side of your hair on the edges and pull your hair out slowly and put it on the seat of the car, you're leaving forensic evidence. If you could bite the inside of your lip, and as soon as your lips start bleeding, you spit on the back of the seat or on the seat, you are leaving forensic evidence for someone to find. And if you can, and you're able to have your hands and you bite your fingernails, spit them out so that they will find them in the car. But you have to do something in order to leave a trail so that people know that you were once in that car.
What would you do if, well, not what would you do, but what would, like, if you get taken to a house or something, right? What should the person do?
If you're able to watch your surroundings and someone is taking you somewhere, look at your surroundings. Try to get something that you realize or you recognize that you passed a Walgreens or you passed the grocery store where you always go to. Or if you passed your house, you would tell them, I went past my house, I saw Miss whatever house, to let them know what direction of travel that the person was taking you in. Anything that you can see, if you can see anything, make sure you try to remember what it was so that when you are rescued, they can find out where they took you when they took you from the beginning.
I had a question with if the person that kidnaps you, if they takes you into a store, and when someone asks, is that your girlfriend, you say yes, even though you're kidnapping them.
Okay, if you're with someone who have kidnapped you and you're walking in the store, the main thing you should do, girls, is you should try to look at that person in a stare of a manner that you tell them, help me. And when you're looking at the reason that people know that you need help is when you look at them and you look at the person beside you, look back at them, look at the person beside you, look back at them, and keep going. Like, they should know that you need help. When your eyes are going in that manner, they know that you need help and they can help you to get away. And always when you're around other people and someone have you, say, I need to go to the bathroom real bad. I got to go to the bathroom really bad. That will get you away from the person who's actually holding you.
I got another question. What if can you like make a sign for them, like the person, so they know that you need help?
If you can make a sign that is that everybody would know that means that you need help, but it's very hard for you to actually make a sign that maybe we need to come up with that you can say that you need help. But always the key sign for investigators is looking at the person, looking back at the person who's looking at you, and keep looking like, I'm scared. Your eyes are moving. And they'll be like, oh, wait a minute. Little girl, you need to use the bathroom? Or either you can say, I need to use the bathroom. Okay?
So if somebody, like a family member or somebody that's close to your family, takes you somewhere, is that considered kidnapping?
It truly is, because they didn't get permission to take you. Anytime that you take someone, or get someone to leave and they didn't get permission to do that, and you are a minor, that is kidnapping. So even if something happens, I do this series that's also on my YouTube channel, where I take the kids out, and the boy rides up and he said, well, your mom told me to come pick you up, so come on and get in the car. The first thing you think of is, okay, wait a second, I left one of my books. I'm going to go run and get it. Meet me back at the school. And you run towards the school if you're safe to go there. Or you say, okay, well, I'm going to pick something up at Miss Watson's house if you're walking in the neighborhood and that person is coming along, because you didn't know that your mom's boyfriend said that he was coming to pick you up. So you always get away without going to with them. First of all, is by going to someone else and say, I need to call my mom. I don't think she told him to come and pick me up. Because 3 kids were killed last year because the mom's boyfriend came and picked them up when he had just broke up with the mom, and the mom didn't want anything to do with him. So he killed all 3 of her kids by picking them up from school.
Okay, I have another question as well. What about the council?
The what?
The council?
What is that? Oh, I don't like that.
So what if the person who's of the person who's kidnapping you, what if they like disguise you to make you look like a different person, but you're the same person, so the police doesn't recognize you and they go to the next house? What would you do to try to signal the police that you are the person they just disguise you to look like someone else?
You almost were about to say one of the incidents that I actually handled. I was looking for a missing girl, but the guy that I caught, he had her dressed as a boy and had her hair in a baseball cap and had on a basketball suit that is for a boy. And I was telling him, where is she? And I was talking to him, and she actually pulled the baseball cap off, and she has really long hair. And she said, I'm here. And we were able to take him down at gunpoint and to take her. But if you're in a disguise and you're somewhere, the main thing that you need to do is separate yourself from that person by asking to go to the bathroom, or saying that, oh, I think I'm about to have an accident, and ask somebody, where's the bathroom? It throws everybody off, especially the person who has you, so that you can go and get help.
Should boys and men be obligated to help girls if they're in trouble or in a fight?
You know, it would seem that that would be the manly thing to do, to help and assist. But we just had an incident that happened recently where a young girl was trying to get away from these guys who were following her. She had run and ran to a guy's car and said, please let me in, help me. I'm not from this area, and these guys behind me are chasing me. And the man refused to open the door for her and take her to a place, because he said she could have done something to him, and so he did not take her. And she was beat up, and arm was broken, her jaw was dislocated, and she was assaulted, and he did not let her in, and she was able to get to his car. They should. Any man who sees that a girl needs to be helped, that's one of my key pointing things, is that men and fathers are not doing enough to help their little girls through different situations, and other men who see young girls in a bad situation are not stepping up to help them. So I hope that more men and boys have the heart to reach out and help a young lady that they see that needs their help.
type of questions do PIs ask when they're involved in a case? What type of question do you guys ask?
Well, it all depends on the type of crime. I only ask questions I already know the answer to. So when you start lying to me, that makes you suspect number one. So when I ask the questions that I need to ask, and if you tell me a lie, then the red flag and the spotlight is now on you.
When would you just say, don't y'all take a lie detector test?
Well, let me tell you about that. Lie detector tests are not admissible in court. Some lawyers or law enforcement take the lie detector test to make sure they have the right person. So they'll ask you, would you take one? But you don't have to take the lie detector test. But I got my own built-in lie detector tests. I already know the answer, and if you lie, I know you lied.
So, if someone were to be kidnapped and they were like hiding in the closet, someone put them in the closet and like covered their mouth with and told them they not to speak and scared them enough not to speak, and you just walked out the house and left them there and you didn't find the case, what would you do if you haven't found the answer and it's been like 2 years or something?
Oh, girl. I hope not. But let me tell you something. If someone comes to a door, you're being kidnapped and you're being held in a house. The only thing that you can do that is a quick response to anything is to kick off your shoe as you're going into the closet. The person may not see that during the time that they're telling you that they're trying to hide you from law enforcement or whoever that may be at the door. You kick off one shoe, your shoe is still out there. They're telling you to get in the closet, and hopefully a good investigator arrive at the scene and they will see that shoe and back out and get a warrant and come back in and save you. And it won't be 2 years.
Okay, I have one more question. How do you escape if a guy's trying to rape you?
There are many ways that you can escape if a guy is trying to rape you. First of all, you can continue to keep your legs in crisscross. You know, crisscross? Crisscross your legs as tight as you can as they are getting ready to fight you or do anything to you. You try to bite their hands as they're trying to touch you or put their hands over your mouth so that you can scream and keep screaming as loud as you can.
Well, Chandra, we are just so grateful to have you share with us today. I think there's one more question. I'm going to do it. Oh, Jesus.
What is the snowball effect if we lie to our parents about where we are going with our friends?
Gara, that question is everything. And I hope that everybody is listening to the answer of this one. I need your undivided attention. Because when you start lying to your parents and you have friends who are really not in your favor, that is no good for you, and they see that you will lie to your parents, they will tell you a lie in order for you to get to them or take them somewhere. Therefore, when you lie about the situation, it takes more time for me to find you. That means there will be more time for you to be abused by whoever has gotten you to lie from the get-go. Let me tell you one story in particular. A young girl said she was going to her friends for the weekend, and this was her best friend. So her mom didn't think to check with the other parent to see if she was going to be there. Lo and behold, she was not there. She went with another friend who knew her best friend's name and told her to lie to her mother that she was going with the best friend when she was going with her. And she took her to Atlanta. And her uncle abused her for several days and doped her up to the point that it was a long time of 3.5 weeks before we were able to find her and get her back in at her home. So lying to your parents will always get you in trouble. Nowadays, when so-called best friends know that you will lie, they will continue to try to get you to lie in a situation that could possibly cause you your life.
Thank you again, Chandra. We are so excited that we had this time with you. The girls got to ask their questions, and I'm sure they learned a whole lot more than they knew when they came into this evening. We appreciate you so, so much. We're going to do one more quick segment, and we are wrapped up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Gen Podcast. A special thanks to our sponsors and all of those who made this podcast possible.